Yo, what's going on, everybody? This is Coach D. Welcome to Real Talk Tuesday. Let me ask you a question. Have you ever said, I'm just going to sit this one out, or I'll pass this time? Not because you couldn't do it or that you weren't capable of getting that done, but you did that simply because you were giving in to your excuses. If that's you, I need you to lock in for real. Because this is what I know. You don't grow stronger in comfort. You grow stronger in the climb. What's the climb? The climb is the daily actions, the everyday effort. That's the climb. The climb is the work that you do in the dark when no one else is looking but you and God. The climb, that's the work that you put in when everybody else said, you know what, I'm done for the day. That's where you get stronger. It's the climb. So today we're going to pick back up, man, on what we've been talking about, which is the comeback. And for many of us, we learned last week that it's important for us to redefine the win. That's important. Like, you got to get crystal clear on what that win really looks like for you now that you're looking to make a comeback. But today we're going to talk about actually building or rebuilding the muscle that you need. Yeah, man. So let's go ahead and jump into this. Once again, this is Real Talk Tuesday, episode 21. Rebuild the muscle, the strength for the long run. Again, I'm your host, your leadership expert, U.S. Marine, family man, Coach D. And I wanna do this for you, because for some of y'all, if you're tuning in for Real Talk Tuesday for the first time, maybe you don't know what that is. Real Talk Tuesday is the opportunity that we take, if you will, to actually reach out to the young men, especially young men. They're coming in, and what they're going to experience is real, unfiltered talk. Like we gonna get rid of the fluff. We're gonna get rid of the sugarcoating. We're just gonna tell you like a TI is. Why is that? Because we want to build you to be legacy-minded leaders when it's all said and done. You got a legacy that you were created to leave behind, man, and we want to make sure you do everything that you can to make that happen. So again, Real Talk Tuesday, welcome. If you know a young man that needs to be on this particular live, they need to be listening, need to be tapping in, by all means, get them in the room. Get the young man in the room, or if they are not available, man, feel free. Like, make sure you at least like, subscribe to this channel, but then go ahead and share this video with that young man. All right, let's get right into it. So last week I had the opportunity to talk to you guys about one of my heroes, man, a person I really look up to. I know you probably thinking Dr. King. That's not who I'm talking about. This right here is none other than Inky Johnson. Inky Johnson was a former collegiate football player at Tennessee, at the University of Tennessee, and he ended up getting news from his coach that, hey, all you gotta do is finish your third year, and man, you're gonna be an automatic multimillionaire, you know, because you're projected to go, you know, in the top 30, you know, of the draft. And of course, you know, he's looking forward to it, man. And when it's all said and done, you know, he playing lights out first game, second game, third game comes, and that's when his whole world had changed. What happened? He went in for a routine tackle. He's a shutdown corner for Tennessee. And when he went to make that tackle, his whole body went limp and he just fell right to the field. Like, it was a devastating blow. That's what it turned out to be. So much so that his life was on the line, to the point where they had to go in and start cutting out different arteries, you know, just to make sure that the bleeding had stopped and all this kind of stuff. And it left him with a paralyzed right arm and hand. And so his whole dream was to make it to the league. Why? Because he wanted to make sure his family was good. He grew up rough and in poverty. He grew up in these crime-infested, drug-infested neighborhoods. Man, he just wanted to make a difference for his family. His vehicle in his mind was the NFL. And so he was on track to do it. But that right there had changed everything when he took that when he suffered that injury. And so now when you talk about a comeback, how do you bounce back from that? When the very dream that you have is shattered, how do you bounce back for real? When the thing that you have been working for as far back as you can remember is now just snatched out of your hands. How do you bounce back? And so for him, the comeback it wasn't an easy task. Like it was an uphill battle where he found himself having to climb and climb and climb again. But this time when he was climbing, he didn't have two functioning arms and hands. He didn't have that. He was essentially going with one arm, one hand. But he still made every effort to not make any excuses. And that's the thing, man. All of us, man, we got excuses. The question is, are you going to give in to the excuses or are you going to make the moves? And what I learned in my lifetime, man, is excuses ain't going to get you nowhere but to a place of disappointment, right? Dissatisfaction, to a place where you live mediocre at best. But real talk, man, you got a trash life that you end up experiencing. Why? Because you kept making excuses. You kept settling. You kept compromising your greatness. And for tonight, man, I don't want you to be that one. Listen to me, young king. I don't want you to be that one that finds yourself making excuses. Life is it's going to deal some blows. Stuff that, man, makes you just want to just curl up and just cry, right? And like just shut down completely, like for good. That makes you want to, man, just think twice about, man, should I take my life? Because everything I was working for, everything I wanted to do, it seemed like every time I try to do something, it's just not working out to my benefit. Man, listen to me. Anything worth having is worth fighting for. I said this before. I'm going to say it again, man, for those that just now hearing. What y'all don't understand, man, for a long time, I had wanted a wife and 7 kids is what I said, man. I ended up getting a woman of my dreams, man. The very one I prayed for, I ended up getting to the T. I'm praying for her to be shorter than me, hair to be long, but not too long, beautiful smile, just beautiful inside out. Like she was all that, thick thighs, she can cook, she loves the Lord, she's smart, blah, 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 blah. She want kids, like everything, man, I prayed for, I got. What happened though, 6 years into our marriage, she ends up showing these signs of stumbling. And she's losing her balance while she's pregnant with our 3rd child. And she's falling, and we're scared for her and for the baby. Listen to me, man. I got the woman that I always dreamt of. You understand? I got the married life that I wanted. Because of the pain I went through as a kid, broken family, I wanted to have a functional family. You feel what I'm saying? I wanted that. I got it. But when I got it, listen, 6 years in, it took a turn. And now to the point where I'm the primary caregiver for my wife. Why? Because she's wheelchair bound. What was forming for her was this hereditary, as doctors say, incurable disorder. So her mom had it, her uncles had it, she has it, 2 of her brothers had it. Like, you understand what I'm saying? So it's like it's running the family. And so now I'm there having to take care of my wife as her primary caregiver. We going on 25 years. Listen to me, man. So 19 of those years, that means I've been dealing with this. And you talk about a comeback. I've been believing for a comeback for 19 years. You hear me? Like, we going to bounce back from this. Like, we going to win. Yeah, I still believe that. I think now more than ever, man, I believe it. I believe like it's going to happen like any minute now. Like, that's what I really believe, even though the doctors say it's incurable. But what do you do when you're actually when you're building this or making this comeback? Like, what do you do? How do you really come back? Like, for all my athletes, man, you get one of those season-ending injuries, it makes you think twice. It makes you think twice. And even when you do recover, according to the physical, physically you recover, you still in that place, man. Well, what if I make a wrong turn and end up blowing out my MCL again? What if I end up pulling my hamstring again? What if I end up breaking my collarbone again? What if this time, instead of me having a back injury, I end up getting a neck injury? I have a concussion and I go into seizures. Like, we start to have these different hesitations, these doubts, because we've experienced some of the worst things. So in those moments when we suffer those type of injuries, more so than building your body, you got to build your mind and you got to build your heart, the emotional intelligence. Listen to me, man. This is where heart has to kick in. You heard the saying, where the head goes, what? Yep, the body follows. Where the head goes, the body follows. So even though you may physically have recovered, the question is, have you recovered mentally? Have you recovered emotionally? And only time will tell, man. So tonight, what I want to do, I want to help you to do some of the things I believe Inky Johnson had did to be able to bounce back. I want to help you with some things that I've done personally, right, to help me bounce back, to weather the storm and to continue to climb. All right, straight. Let me do this, man. Just a quick pause before we jump into this. I have to make sure I give my shout out to the sponsor of the week, Startup Waco. Man, Startup Waco, they have a movement where they're helping entrepreneurs turn vision into action. All right, vision into action. And they're here in Waco, but they serve entrepreneurs in Central Texas. So whether you're an established entrepreneur, you've been in the game for a minute, you just now getting started, or you want to get started, Startup Waco is your go-to place, man. They're going to help you take the idea and begin to scale your idea into something that's going to be very profitable and sustainable. So if you're looking to start a business, if you already started a business or company, and you like, man, I just need some extra support, come see our sponsor of the week, Startup Waco, right here in Waco, Texas. But yeah, without any further ado, I want to talk about this right here. Because when we think about strength, oftentimes, like, I've seen it, man. I played football. I played some semi-pro football coming out the Marine Corps. I've been around football for a long time. I've seen coaches like where they're about to win. You know, you'll see a player get hurt. They're like, man, walk it off, shake it off, get on back in there. You all right? I mean, arm can be dangling. You know what I'm saying? It could be dangling. They're like, no, it's okay. Let's tape it up real quick. You're going to be all right. Get back out there. Right? For them, win at all costs. That's not the type of winning we're talking about right now. Now, you do want to win at all costs to a degree. In other words, you got to be willing to give your all, is what I'm saying. But if you end up losing your integrity in the process, that's not the kind of win you want. If you end up losing those meaningful relationships that you really do value for the sake of winning, that's not the kind of win you want. If you can't respect yourself or look yourself in the eyes and have a sense of dignity, being proud of who you are because the way you went about trying to win, that's not the kind of win you want. So it's not really, in that sense, win at all costs. But I'm saying give it everything that you got to win. All right, that's what I'm asking for you to do. Most people, what they do, society tells us, man, focus on the outward appearance. You just got to look good doing it. One of the things that Dion would say, Coach Prime over there at Colorado football, Colorado University football, man, and shout out to Coach Prime. For him, he said, man, if you look good, you feel good. You feel good, you play good. You play good, they pay good. You know what I mean? And I get it. If you look good, most people stop there. I want to look good, so now I can get paid good. But there's some work in between, man. That feel good ain't got nothing to do with the outside, truth be told. The look good is how do you see yourself, like, mentally? How do I see myself? Do I see myself as being a man of character? I see myself as being a man, a leader on the field, off the field. Do I see myself being a positive role model? Do I see myself being somebody that does not quit, that gives his all? How do I see myself? That mental picture, that's everything, man. And that's the looking good you gotta be focused on, not the outward appearance. I don't care how many muscles you got, dog. I don't care. I don't care how fast your 40 is. If you got a daggone 4.1240, okay, amazing. You're gonna have some people looking at you. But you got a trash character, you got trash work ethic, your resilience is zero at zero. Like I can't bounce back from nothing. That's not good, bro. And the reason why it's not good is because if nobody else sees that, I don't care how you look on the outside, if nobody else sees it, who sees it? You do. So what I'm saying here, I'm saying don't get caught up in what society wants you to focus on, the outward appearance. Focus on the inward man. Like focus on building up your mind, building up your emotional intelligence. Man, if I do get heated, I'm in my raw feelings right now. Raw emotions I'm feeling. How do I handle myself? Emotional intelligence. Do I handle myself in a way where now I get suspended for the entire season? And the very thing I've been working for, I can't do anymore because I couldn't keep my control. I couldn't control my emotions. Nah, bro. That's not how we do it. That's not how we do it. That's probably how the mediocre people do it. That's probably how the average people. That's probably how, third string, fourth string may do. But you don't do that. The way I need you to see yourself is being a captain, even if you don't have a C on your chest. Listen to me. I need you to see yourself as already having a C on your chest, even if you don't have one on your chest, on your uniform. Lead like that captain that you are. Lead in that way. And the captain is not just showing up when it's game time. The captain is showing up when ain't nobody watching. I'm reading something that's going to put something positive in me so I can get positive out. I'm reading something that's going to build up my mental capacity, right? So I have a higher IQ, not just for the game that I play, but a higher IQ, period. I ain't no dummy. I'm putting something in me that's going to help me to have the resilience that I need. So in times past, when I came up against this particular situation, maybe your girl cheats on you. I ain't gonna just check out, man, and just start wilding on everybody. I'm not gonna start blowing up or running off the football field, or basketball court, or wherever you are. I'm not gonna just tuck tail and run. I'm gonna begin to process my emotions. Right now, that sucks. I found that out. But right now, I got a game to play. Right now, my team is counting on me. Right now, I cannot check out. Whatever sport you play, young king, I'm telling you, man, that's just what you do. That's not who you are. So I need you to build up who you are. So much so that whatever you put your hands to do, whatever you find yourself doing, you show up in the best possible way. You're mentally strong, you're spiritually intact, you're emotionally resilient. You understand what I'm saying? That's what I need you to do. And so, yeah, tonight I want to transition, man. This is a quote that I had came up with. It says, "The pain you feel today will produce the strength you need for tomorrow." I'm gonna say it one more time. The pain that you feel today will produce the strength that you need for tomorrow. Just let that sit for a moment, man. Let that sit. Because what I realize, man, is that a lot of us, what we do, we begin to run. We're running away from pain. Oh, that hurts. Oh, no. Man, come on. Like, I ain't trying to offend nobody, but stop being a punk. You understand what I'm saying? Stop being a punk. A little pain ain't gonna hurt. One of the sayings that we had in the Marine Corps was, pain is weakness leaving the body. We need you to be strong. And not just physically. I told you where the head goes, the body follows. So we need you to be mentally strong. I'm seeing too many of my young kings. They can't think for themselves. Like they can't figure out issues. They can't process emotions. They can't. Well, let me rephrase it. They can, but they don't. Why? Because they haven't developed that skill set. And I'm saying for you, that's super important. So that pain that you feel when you do encounter some pain, when you're mentally strong, mentally resilient, when you're emotionally intact, you're going to be able to endure that pain. And matter of fact, if you're wise enough, you're going to welcome pain when it does come, because you're going to already be able to see past it. You're going to be able to see, you know what? I know what time it is. Okay, my wife, she in a wheelchair now. I know what time it is. Now my wife really counting on me. Now this ain't the time for me to take off and run. Okay, I suffered that injury where I can't play anymore. But you know what? Instead of me being in my feelings and not showing up to the games and being there for my team, I'm going to be that captain, even though I don't have a C on my chest, that shows up for my team anyway. Look at my guy, Fred Warner. Man, Fred Warner had a season-ending injury for the 49ers linebacker, captain on the team. And if you go back to the last video or the last game they played, I think it was on Monday night or Sunday. It was one of them, right? But anyway, you can see him after the game. He on his crutches or whatever he's on. You can see that he's all, they got something on his ankle, right? And yet he's out there high-fiving. He's giving hugs, supporting the team. That's a perfect example of somebody that's not checking out when they experience pain. Somebody that's saying, you know what? I welcome this, man. Now, it's not going to make me run. Matter of fact, it's going to make me show up even more. And that's what happened with Inky Johnson. Inky Johnson now goes across the globe, man. Across the globe, inspiring people with his paralyzed right arm and right hand, inspiring the world and able to take care of his family well because he did not run from pain. And I'm saying the same thing for you. The pain that you feel today, man, like feel it. Like let yourself feel that pain for a moment. Just feel it. And even if you crying, like, dog, listen, ain't nothing wrong with crying. But as you're crying, man, you're not giving up. As you cry, you still pushing forward. You understand what I'm saying? So cry if you will. Listen, vent. Whatever you need to do what you got to do, man, just to keep moving forward. And so for me, I learned again that pain that we feel today is going to produce the strength that we need for tomorrow. And that's what we fail to do, man. We get stuck in today. We only thinking about, how it feels in the moment. We're not thinking about what it's going to produce down the road. I need you to think about what it's going to produce down the road. What I learned, man, being with my wife and her being in the condition that she's in, I learned to be more patient, to be more understanding. I learned to serve better. I learned to be more selfless, right? It's a lot of things I'm picking up, man. I'm learning to prioritize my time better. You hear what I'm saying? Like I'm learning. I'm learning to be more creative, in the way that I love her, right? And I'm saying, like, there's so many things you can gain from the pain. But that pain that you feel today is going to produce the strength you need for tomorrow. So I don't think you're just going through it just to be going through it. That pain is meant to help you in the future. So you got to feel it. You got to embrace it. Y'all know the story about my pops, man, when I lost my dad, man. And I remember being at his funeral, and one of my aunts, man, I can overhear her. She's like, man, I don't think DJ, Darryl Jr., my name, I don't think DJ is like really remorseful. Like, I don't really think he's sad. They lost his daddy. He didn't seem that sad. He wasn't doing a lot of crying. She didn't see the tears I was crying on the inside. But for me in that moment, I felt like even at his funeral, I had to be strong for people around me. So I couldn't let it show too much. But I got to a place where I allowed myself to begin to really feel the loss of my dad. like to feel it. Like that's the grieving process. And like if you don't properly grieve, man, that thing is gonna come back to haunt you. It is. It's gonna it's gonna hawk you down, man. And you like, dang, man, I thought I was good. I was on my way to scoring a touchdown in life. And now you get hawked. And it ain't no touchdown. Matter of fact, you fumble. And the defense recovers. You understand what I'm saying? Because you didn't grieve properly. Now you picking up addictions because you trying to self-medicate. I didn't grieve properly, man. I'm still hurting. 20 years, 30 years later, I'm picking up addictions, man. I can't stop having sex with people, man. I'm just having sex with everybody. You trying to cope. You trying to self-medicate. Man, I can't stop drinking. I can't stop getting high, dog. Like, it's just, man, I don't know what's going on. I don't know what your vice is, man. But that could have been because you did not process that pain properly, which is the grieving. And I'm saying for you, for real, let's begin to process that. Stop running from pain. All right, man, I'm gonna get off of this, man, because I could be here all day, bro. I'm just seeing so many of my young kings, man, they hurting. And it hurts my heart, man, to see them hurting. To see that they still got open wounds. To see that they still haven't bounced back from stuff that happened to them when they were, 10, 15 years ago. They still struggling. I don't want that for you. So anyway, let's get in here, man. If you with me, I just want to know if you're with me, man. Just in the comments, if you can put pain, that's all I want you to put, just pain. If you with me, just put pain in the comments. That's it. That's all I ask. All right, let me get on to the next thing. I want to break this down, man, because as I was looking at this right here, I said, okay, what are two ways that we can help build the right kind of strength as we're making this comeback? Like, what are two ways? And so, of course, this time of the show where we get into our King's Toolbox, and I want to break that down for you. So, what are two ways that we can build strength, as we're orchestrating this comeback, and that's going to keep us over the long run? So, all right, first one I want to look at is this right here. We got to train the muscle you can't see. I know, and I've said it. I've been harping on it. I've been talking about your mind, right? Most people say your brain is what controls the thoughts and all that. That's a whole nother episode that we're not even going to talk about right now. But right now, your mind, your head, that's the part that we really got to begin to train. It's your head and it's your heart. When we're in the Marine Corps and they're teaching us, as far as marksmanship, which is the shooting part of our job, they're saying, man, it's two main areas you wanna focus on if you really want to kill a shot. You want to focus on the head. You want to focus on the heart. Focus on the head. Focus on the heart. And I'm saying the same thing for you. If you really want to dominate, where it's undisputed, focus on the head. Focus on the heart. Those are the muscles you want to build. Yeah, work out the knee, work out the whatever it is that you injured. Like, work that out. Get that hamstring stronger, like whatever you got to do. That's cool. But the real muscle I want you to work on as you're working on those physical muscles is your mind and it's your heart. All right. So as we talk about your mind and your heart, I want to show you this right here. Because, or better yet, I'm not even going to show you that. I'm just going to tell you what it is, and I want you to write it down. All right. I want you to write it down. So here, when we talk about the building the muscles that you can't see, these are three things I want you to take away. The first thing, as you're building these muscles or training these muscles, I want you to figure out from the mind standpoint, ask this question: what area do I really need to get stronger in? Like, just ask yourself that question and be honest. Like have real talk with yourself. What areas do I really struggle in? Like, I'm gonna give you me for a moment. So on one side, I call myself want to be strong for everybody else, right? And so I'm like not processing certain emotions at times. The harder ones to deal with, like I feel scared. That's hard to admit as a man. Like I feel scared, right? Or I feel lonely. I feel like nobody likes me. Like don't nobody really want to admit that. You know what I'm saying? But we feel that type of stuff, right? I feel taken advantage of, man. I feel unloved. I feel disrespected. Those we can probably process a little bit more, or we can at least verbalize, but still not process. But still, the point is, I need you to get honest with yourself. And so me, I found out that I was trying to be strong for everybody else. I wasn't processing my emotions. The other thing that I found out about me is that if I get offended, if I get like really disrespected, I'm going to do one or two things, and both of them on opposite ends of the spectrum. Either I'm going to blow up and I'm going to chew somebody out. I ain't going to cuss them out. Like, I'm past them days. But back then I used to, right? Or I'm going to just shut down altogether. Like, I ain't going to say nothing. I ain't going to say nothing. And even to this day, like, I'm still working through the shutting down part, because I'll go quicker to the shutting down than the blowing up, because I know if I blow up, I can do some damage, like either literal damage or like emotional, mental type damage. I can do that, man, with my words, and I don't want to hurt the people that's around me. So I revert to just shutting down. But sometimes I can stay stuck in that shutting down. Like, I ain't talking to nobody. I ain't talking to wife. I ain't talking to kids. I ain't talking to friends. I ain't talking to my mentor, my coach, my pastor, whoever. I ain't talking to nobody, because I'm like calling myself trying to shield everyone else from me blowing up on them. What I need for you to do is get real, man. Like, what happens when you face adversity? What do you tend to do when you hit the hardest? What do you tend to do when you're attacked, if you will? What do you do? How do you respond? And if the way you respond isn't a way that it isn't in a way where you can still respect yourself, then that's the thing we need to change. So if you are that one that quits, if you are that one that shuts down, if you are that one that blows up, if you are that one that makes excuses, if you are that one that starts to kind of dodge, talking about it, like, no, how you doing, man? I'm good. For real? Because you look like something wrong. No, I'm good. No, but bro, like I saw you crying there. I wasn't crying, man. I had something in my eye. You know how we be. Listen, shut up, right? And just be truthful, man. Be truthful, right? And so, but this is where I want you to take the time right now, just to begin to think, how do I respond to adversity? And again, if it's not in a way where you can still respect yourself, that's what we got to work on. So that's the first thing when we talk about training your muscles, right? The muscles you can't see, your mind and your heart. The other thing I want you to think about is, once you identify what it is that you need to work on, I now want you to begin to put a game plan together. And there's three things I want you to focus on when you do that. I want you to focus on the how. I want you to focus on the what, and I want you to focus on the who. All right, and maybe we go what, how, who. All right, so what it is that you want to work on. So if it's for me, I want to work on not shutting down and staying shut down. Like, eventually get to the point where I process, where I talk about that stuff. All right, so how can I do that? That's the how. So now the how says what I'm going to do when I shut down. How I'm going to work through that, I'm going to give myself maybe 10 minutes, 15 minutes. If it's really bad, I give myself 30 minutes of where I'm just in my feelings. But I'm setting that timer on my phone. And after 30 minutes, I should have already breathe, calm down to the point where now I can begin to talk. And maybe you're not at the point where you can talk after 30 minutes. But at the very least, what you can do, take out a sheet of paper, take out a pen, write, and begin to write out. And this is where the journaling comes in. I know some of y'all like, man, that's for girls, man. No, it ain't for girls, bro. I got probably about 20 journals that I've written in over the years, right? Just that's a way for me to be able to vent. Instead of it being pent up on the inside, and like a volcano, I explode the minute somebody like triggers something. I'm able to get it out on paper. So if you can't talk to somebody right then and there, that's okay. Get you a journal, get you a pen, get you a paper, and begin to write out how you feeling. Man, I am pissed off, man. She knew she didn't have to do all that. And man, like I had this conversation last time, she still did the same. I'm talking about get it out, bro. Get it out. And once you got it out, man, shoot, you can ball it up and throw it away if you don't want nobody reading it. But at least you got it out. And the third thing is the who. So we got the what are we working on? We got the how are we going to process this? Give me 30 minutes, and then I'm going to begin to get it out of my system, whether I write or whether I talk to somebody. And the who is saying, who can I talk to when I get to that point where I'm willing to open up? Who can I go to that's going to be there to really help me to bounce back, to have this comeback for real? So for me, who I found to be at one point is my pops, but now I got into the place where it ain't pops because he ain't here, but my pastor is one, my wife is one, and to a certain extent, you know, my kids at times, my mom at times, right? Those are people that I will go to, right? Those are my who. But identify the what, the how, the who. Got it? All right, cool. All right, last thing I'm gonna give you is this right here. I'm gonna get up out of here. Last thing, number 2. So I want you to focus on feeding yourself what you want to grow, or feeding what you want to grow. And again, we're talking about the mind. We want the mind to grow. We want the mental resilience to grow, is what I'm saying. We want the emotional intelligence to grow. I need you to feed that. Well, how do I feed that? You get your book. You see that book behind me right there? Right? Today I Win. Get you one of those books. Today I Win with Tesco Beyond the Classroom. Today we win. How real students found the answers to life's tests. We got volume 1, volume 2. Right? I got another book that's called When the Walls Speaks, or When the Walls Speak. Fathers Restoring Generational Confidence, where a group of fathers have come together and they're giving you game on how they got through some of the hardest things they had to go through to help get your confidence level up. Right? But you ain't got to read any of my books. Go find you a book that's going to speak to you. I ain't talking about some little sci-fi, fictional, whatever. Like, find you some books that's really going to speak to you, man. My favorite book is the Bible, like the Holy Bible. Like, I'm on that, and it helps. And if you do happen to pick it up, man, go to Proverbs and begin to get some of that wisdom right there. Like, or even go over to the first 4 books in the New Testament: Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, where they give their accounts of Jesus and how he had moved. If you're gonna follow anybody, right? If you're gonna mimic anybody, why not mimic the greatest man that ever lived, right? Why not? And so that's my recommendation. But feed what you want to grow. So feed your mind, feed your heart. Good books is good. Podcasts, shows. It can be motivational videos, if you will. The only thing about motivation is that the motivation is like a spark. You know what I'm saying? So once that spark has fizzled out, if you will, or evaporated, like it's, you know what I'm saying, it ain't there. You got to get another spark. So I ain't really big on motivation as much as I am transformation. But those little series of motivation can help create that transformation, right? So that's my recommendation, man, as far as things you can do. And the last part I would say is, as you are looking at feeding what you want to grow, that who comes right back into play. that person that you chose to be able to open up to, sometimes they can double up as a mentor, right? They can be your coach where you can sit up under them and they can give you all kind of game. You just got to be willing to ask the right questions. You got to be willing to be transparent with them, and you got to be willing to listen. But a lot of times, man, just association, who you rocking with, man, who you are finding yourself around, like that has a whole lot to do with what you are feeding yourself. And so I want you just to really think about that, man, like to really lock in on who that mentor could be for you, right? Who's that person that, man, like I see the way they moving and they where I want to be, down the road, and they've done it successfully at a high level. Man, make sure you in their ear at least once a week, on a weekly basis, asking questions. Because it's the thing, you ain't too old to keep learning. In the moment you get to the point where you stop learning, you dying because you ain't growing no more. The learning is going to help us to grow, and that's what we need. We need to learn. I'm talking about going outside of just the academics of school. School, it has its part, but I promise you, man, there's so much more to learn on the outside of school. And it's no disrespect to all my principal friends, my teacher friends, like it's no disrespect. But there's a whole lot to learn in life, man. And I promise you, if you get up under somebody that's been through life, that's been down the path you're trying to go down, they're going to be able to help you shorten that learning curve. All right. So with all that being said, once again, those are the two ways I wanted to give you as far as how to improve or build your strength for the long run as you orchestrate that comeback, man. Now, the last thing that I'm going to get into is, for those that don't know, I do have another resource that I want to throw your way. This particular resource is the Comeback Playbook. It's the Comeback Playbook. And in this playbook, what we're doing is giving you strategies on how you can really orchestrate that comeback that's going to help you to be on a whole nother level once you make it back. And so you're not trying to, you got a setback. You're not trying to get back to where you were. You want to go beyond that. And that's what this playbook is going to help you do as a leader, as a man, and as a member in our society. It's going to help you do that. So that right there is coming soon. If you're interested in that, all you got to do, man, is put comeback in the comments, and we make sure that that we do reply and get the information that we need from you, so you can get on that waiting list and get that. It doesn't cost anything, man. I'm gonna put it out there for free, just because I want to help. All right, so just put comeback in the comments, and I got that for you. All right, so as we wrap this thing up, I'll say this right here in closing: you are a winner. I don't care how rough life is. I don't care how much you get beat up. Listen, that don't make you less of a winner. That just means you got punched in the mouth. That's all that means. That just means you're human. You're going through this life experience. So if you just lost grandmama, your girl just cheated on you, right? You and your daddy at odds. You got cut from the team. You got busted for something dumb you did. Whatever that looks like. Listen, that's just a part of life. The question now is, if you really are the winner that I believe you are you going to get back up? Are you going to make the comeback? Because if you are going to make the comeback, make sure that you are focusing on building the right muscles. And it's not just the physical muscles. Build the mental resilience that you need, build the emotional intelligence that you need. And I promise you, man, I'm definitely going to see you at the top, young king. Remember, you are a winner. Win is the choice. So whatever you do, do not quit. Catch me next week, same time, same channel. Speaking of which, subscribe.